so hard. Like, your mom, she probably could have just been like, nope, no more welfare checks, no more nothing. I don't need a key to your house. You're a grown man. You make your decisions.
Right.
And don't ask me for money. Don't ask me for anything. You know, it's so hard because you love them so much. And you know that they're a good person.
She did stop calling the police to do welfare checks, and then my sister took over. So,
you flipped one for the other.
And that's nice that they didn't give up. But there has to come a point, though, like you said, you know, like my mom, she stopped helping in certain ways, and there was times where, you know, if I needed money and she knew it, she'd be like, well, I'll give you $20 for gas, but do not buy alcohol with it. And I would say, okay. So I'd put the $20 in, and then I wouldn't tell her that I have $50 in my account. I'll just use that to buy alcohol. You know, I would tell her, no, I'm broke. Well, you're broke, you know, how much money do you have? And I would just, well, it's not enough, you know. I would just skirt around it, but that's lying. It really is. But that was my addict thinking of, well, I need the alcohol. I need to get that at all costs. And same thing goes with the other drugs, too. People will do the same things. And from what you were describing with your ex-husband, and you said that they took him and, you know, did the whole toxology or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And no, he wasn't on any drugs at that time. But as I just talked about last night on our podcast, this guy was mentioning some things and hearing things and seeing stuff and people talking about him and just walls talking to him, you know. I'm like, whoa. And he had mentioned something, too, about seeing demons and stuff. And I had another person tell me, and she had been doing meth, and it was called the demon something. I'm like, why would you even do that? You know, and it's like, oh, I saw demons, you know. I'm like, yeah, that's probably something I wouldn't take, you know. Like, I wouldn't. And she's like, no, I saw him for like days, and then I wasn't even high anymore, and I was seeing him. But that's because it affects your brain. And just look at the chemicals that, you know, are involved in making meth and some of the other drugs. That, what do you think that's going to do to you? You know, if it makes you feel that good for a minute or a day or 3 days, it's going to do that to your brain the opposite way too. You know, it's going to damage things. And, you know, maybe he had just done the wrong stuff or done something, or maybe a bad combo or whatever, but it wasn't the guy that you married, that it wasn't him, you know, that did it. Not justifying, hey, you can go out and do bad things to people because you were on drugs, but I think something has to change, whether it starts with the jail system, because that doesn't help people that are addicts. Now, it helps people who just think, you know what, I'm bored today, I'm going to go kidnap somebody. You know, that's, you know, but somebody who has the addiction and the drugs have damaged his brain, and his mental isn't right, you know, and I think there's something that needs to be shifted, and, you know, hopefully future generations can figure it out, because right now there's just too much money in the game for everybody to try to fix anything, you know. I like rehabs. They can only do so much for you, you know. As you know, they set you up with the tools. They'll get you there, and they're a great resource. But people, I think, rely on them too much to, hey, fix him. Hey, well, he's in rehab. And then they start, well, he's in rehab again. Oh, this is what, the 5th time he's been to rehab? Jesus, can't he figure it out? You know, and you can't really expect those people to get it. Just like if I were to tell you the story of the cop or the doctor down in Dallas, and it's kind of funny how they well, it's not funny at all. None of the story is funny. As you laugh, okay. But no, this doctor, he had personalized license plates with Dr. Shabazz or whatever his name was. So he was driving this nice car. He'd go to Target and wait for women who he thought were attractive to come out. He'd pull up next to him, and he'd be Grasster rating.
Yeah.
Okay, and he'd be like, hey, you know, and something about that, just, I don't know, that was his thing. So they caught him because personalized license plate, they showed up, and then they identified, yep, that's the guy, okay. Yeah. But we would think of that and go, that's crazy. Who does that? Sex addict. Mm-hmm. But we don't get it, so we're like, that's stupid. You know, just like we would probably, I could take a picture of you and say, hey, this is what you look like now. Put like a meth filter on it and be like, boom, this is what you look like in 2 months. And you'd be like, I would never do that. That's silly. But yet there they are doing it, you know. So same thing with alcoholic. You can be like, hey, look at all this nice stuff you have. There's your beautiful wife. Here's your house. Here's your kids. Boom, this is what you are today, under a bridge, homeless.
Yeah.
I'll never drink it. But that's what we do, and we know that's where it's going to go. But somehow the addiction and what we're trying to run from and what we're trying to cover up with using the drugs, it might start out fun. Yeah, let me try that. Oh, I had a good time. But then it becomes, oh, I'm having a bad time. What would I do? Well, I'll turn to that. You know, and lately, as you can probably tell, I've turned to ice cream. Yeah, ice cream's good, and I love it. But I'm sugar. You know, it's real. It's a real thing. You know, we always try, and our brain is set up to switch it like that. You know, our brain doesn't want us to feel uncomfortable, and we don't obviously like to feel uncomfortable. So when we get into that moment when, oh, this is what I know. Okay, I'm going to drink it.
And I feel better.
Yeah, and I was talking to a lady yesterday, too, and she was telling me about how, her kids and this and that, and she thought she was just being a responsible parent. And I've heard this, I can't remember where, maybe on like a TED Talk or something, where the guy was talking about that same thing, where the mom who's stressed out makes dinner, gets the kids from school, the homework, and then, she's rewarded with her glass of wine. Oh, she needed that. You know, I mean... And I mentioned that to the woman yesterday, and she's like, that's exactly what I did. It's exactly what I thought. I deserved it, you know, and society teaches you that. And until you learn, when they call them coping skills, but just to, hey, that's life. You don't need anything, you know. Give yourself a bath. I don't know. Like,
yeah, I mean...
have some ice cream.
As a mother, you just go and lock yourself in the bathroom and just, like, block everybody out for about 10 minutes, and... and you go right back at it.
Is that what you do, Courtney?
Yes, that's what I do. That's what. Yep. Yep. Last night, yesterday afternoon was a little bit of a hectic because I had 2 patients that were looking to get admitted to Skywood. We have all 5 of our children with us this week, and we have hockey every single night right now.
Oh my God.
On top of wrestling, the other 2, and then our 2-year-old not wanting to nap right now. I was literally in the bathroom, locked myself behind a couple of doors so that this mother didn't think that I was like, you know, didn't know what I was doing as my children are screaming in the background. It's 5 o'clock at night. Dinner's like overfilling on the oven and children are hungry. And I mean, that's my life. I've accepted it. It's a phase. We'll get into the next one here pretty soon of I don't know what, but I mean... that's just, it's life, you know. The mountains are going to come and they're going to move, and then you climb another one. I don't know. That's what they tell me anyways.
Yeah, and one day you're going to miss it.
Well, that's what they tell me.
You know, you will. You'll miss it.
I told somebody yesterday, I was like, whoever said having kids was fun needs to get their head checked. And I didn't put it nicely either. I mean, I was a little bit more, well, you need to get your head checked.
Well, one day when you have the old woman poodle hair, I'm not sure what age that hits, but you'll have it because every old woman does.
Okay, well, we'll see about that.
Yep, you will. You'll have the old poodle hair, and you'll think, oh, I remember. But then you'll have great grandkids or grandkids, and this is my mom told me it changes. She said, I thought I loved you guys, but no, real love is the grandkids. I'm like, what? Your mom right here. She's like, yeah, no, I love them more than you. I'm like, what?
Because they can just go, here you go. Here's your child back. It's crying.
Yeah.
Have a great day.
I don't know. It's like that whole, it's like, oh, my mom told me to do that. No, I'm not going to do it. Oh, grandma. Hey, yeah, grandma, I'll do it. You know, it's.
Oh, for sure.
It's different. You know, that's grandma. You know, or mom's like, nah.
For sure. Yes, I know that one all too well.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
So, but back to the bathroom thing. You just gave me a great idea. You know how they have, well, maybe you don't know how they have poopery?
Yes.
Because you spray it,
yes.
And then you take it down for
yes.
whatever, and then it goes away. What if you had, like, fake doo-doo smell? Where, like, if you just needed a break, like, you go in the bathroom, chill out, not do anything, but then spray some little doo-doo smell, and then flush the toilet, and then at least when you leave, they're like, oh, man, she was in there. Oh, I see why. You know, she was in there for 45 minutes. Like, woo, she was working on something. You know, and maybe you're just in there playing on your phone.
That's a great invention. Maybe you could probably just, like, put some eggs in a spray bottle and just, like, set it out in the sun for a while. I mean, I don't know. That would smell really bad. Or milk. Somebody left a glass of milk in my car. Most likely my 2-year-old.
Oh, yeah, that's bad. I did that once. Not good. Yeah, there's some. But, yeah, I'm just saying, if you need investors, you could probably get a few.
It's a true story.
But, yeah, I don't know. Just something I was throwing out there. I'm not sure.
You don't want to invest in it?
No, I'm good on that. maybe Ryan or Chris can get on that. And Ryan was maybe going to come today, but I don't know. He just didn't.
He flaked.
Yeah. But, I mean, I have to go to school, too, after this, so I was kind of like, really wasn't waiting on him. And he was like, I'll be out there in a minute. I was like, hey, sorry, Ryan.
Next time around.
Yeah, he doesn't listen to these anyway, so it's all good.
Oh, that's sad. This is a good one. This is going to be a good one.
Yeah, I mean, it starts off with,
With a bang?
Yeah. I mean, I wish you could have that passion, though, that you had when you originally said it. And I looked at her, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, well, you do know what I'm talking about if you listen this far, but right when we started the podcast, but right before we did, we were talking, and she just comes off with that, and I'm like, I wish I was recording that. It was pretty good. It was amazing.
Well, I'm sorry. Sometimes men just need a little push in the right direction.
Because what we were talking about...
We were talking about the ice cream bowl.
Oh, yeah, and, like, how people have a hard time, like...
accepting their...
Yeah, and surrendering,
yeah.
And stop trying to do it your way. And that's what, they mean in AA, and they say surrender. You have to stop trying to find ways around it. I used to do it all the time, they tell you to go in a straight line from here to there. Well, no, because I want to go this way, and this is the other way, but I'm not doing that because you told me to do that. Just do it. It's a lot easier if you can just surrender and give up and just do it. Yeah. Well, I don't want to work the steps. Okay, find another way then. Go have fun, and there are other ways, but, if you agree and you sign to go, say, on to sober living, and they say, well, here's what we do here. We have nothing. You don't have to do any meetings. Okay, great. Yeah, good luck with that. Now, if you go to a place and they say, hey, sign this, and then you come in, they're like, okay, well, you need 5 AA meetings or NA meetings a week. Blah, blah, blah. Work the steps. Get a sponsor. And you agree to that. And then you get in there and you're like, but I don't like AA. I don't want to do none of that. That's the part that they haven't surrendered.
Yeah. And
that's a huge red flag. And we try to address it to the point to where we're not saying, bro, you want me to just go get you a bottle? I leave it outside for you.
Well, it's funny to me that these people, they don't want to follow this program that you guys have set up. Obviously, it's set there for a reason. We're not doing it just to, blow smoke up your butt. We're doing it because this is the proven way to show you to keep on the recovery path. I heard somebody one time say, if you're not continuously working on your recovery, you're working on becoming an addict again.
Yeah.
So the reason that, these meetings are set up for you guys, or, these steps are in place, is so that you're continuously working on your recovery and thinking about your recovery so that you're not going back to your old habits. Mm-hmm. And for somebody just to, blow smoke like that and just be like, no, I don't want to do it just because somebody told you to do it. How did you get through recovery?
Yeah, well, I've been sober 2 years before. Really? How'd that work out? How much time you got today? And we're not telling it to be mean, but it's some guys they're just not surrendering. And nothing wrong with that. Like I said, there was a point in my life where nope, I'll do it this way too, and I'll do it that way, and until you really find out what works for you. And I get it. You don't have to be sold on AA 100%, but if you signed a contract to live at a place and this is what they're required of you, and you said, yeah, I'll do that, but then all of a sudden you want to change it till it fits you, to your needs, you can't really do that. Now if you want to explore something else on your own, hey, feel free. Do it. I encourage it.
See you in a year.
Yeah, but still do the steps, still, do what you signed up for and do what's required, and don't bitch about it. Just do it. And like I said, if that's not all 100% you, then fine. I don't work the steps anymore, but I did before, and there are some things I love about AA. I absolutely love it. And there's things about NA that I absolutely love. I like how they welcome everybody. Alcohol is a drug.
Yeah.
And AA used to be more like this, but now it's not. But they would be where, well, this is for alcoholics only, blah, 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 which it's changing a lot. I mean, if I see it in a meeting, if somebody says